Hejsa, I have accidentally started another quilt project. It just sort of happened. Does that ever happen to you? So I was making something else and I needed some small white triangles. Unfortunately, I cut the triangles too small. So I had, I don't know, about 30 of these little triangles, which I only found out were too small after I had sewed them all in and sewed the thing I sewed them onto something else. So I had to unpick it and unpick all the triangles. It was a bit annoying, but luckily it was only a small bit that I had made this mistake with. And I was thinking, well, I'm not just gonna throw away these triangles. It's fabric. So I came up with the idea to make these. I don't know if this is a block that has a name, but it's just what I could come up with. So I thought I would share how to make it in case you wanna maybe accidentally start a quilt project too. And I suppose you could do it to any size. So these are 2.5 inch squares I cut in half. I wasn't quite sure how large to make these strips here, but in the end I think I've cut these strips. So there's a long one as well. They're 1.5 inches by 7.5, and then one is cut in half. So then what you do is, I'm sorry I can't go to the sewing machine at the moment. So you take your middle strip, and then we've got 2 triangles, and you want to line up the 90-degree corner of the triangle with the corner of one end of the strip, and then sew it on right sides together like you would sew anything together. And once you've sewed one on, sew on the other one, and you repeat for the other strip and the other 2 triangles, and then you will end up with 2 bits that look like this. Is it kind of like an aeroplane? I'm not sure it would fly very far. And you sew those 2 to the long strip, and that's it really. And then give it a good press, and then I end up with squares that are, I think, 4 inches by 4 inches. So this is not something I'm going to be working on all the time. I'm just going to sort of collect whenever I have some scraps of white fabric. I'm going to cut out some triangles and put them in a pile so that I can play with this whenever I have some time. So what I've been thinking now is, because it looks like some stripes go over the other stripes, and I've been thinking about how to put them together when I eventually do that, which won't be for some time. but maybe I can make it so that it has a sort of lattice effect. Or maybe have the ones that go over meet. Let's just move that around. Maybe this is better. It's a shame I haven't got any more, so I could sort of have a proper play around with it. But maybe the meeting points alternate, so that here it is the upper strips that meet, and then over here it will be the lower strips that meet, and here again would be the upper strips and the lower strips, and so on. So those are the sort of two options I can see. They could alternate, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? What would you do? Anyway, the fabrics I've used for the strips, I just grabbed a random pile from my stash that I just was drawn to. But I think because the whites are basically scraps, I think I might do the same with the strips. Because you always got random strips from projects, don't you? So that would be a nice way to use them up, because they're only an 1.5 inches wide and, what did I say, 7.5 inches long. So I think that is the plan, which means that I guess I won't really be able to control the colors that go into this quilt, but I guess that's okay. I mean, a truly scrappy quilt is not one you really have a lot of control over, or at least not the sort of colors and prints, maybe. So yeah, I just thought I would share this accidental new project and maybe inspire you to try this, whatever name this block has, if it has a name. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it's not a unique idea. So I really like how this is going to have an extra sort of, I don't know if you want to call it a motif with the triangles, although as you can see they're not all going to line up, because I guess I wasn't super careful when I sew things together, but I don't mind that. I like that it's a little bit wonky. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. I hope you have a great day, whatever you're making.